guys, it's Diana Stack. Welcome to Wild Rose. This is video part 3 in my crocheting on any budget series. So today we're going to focus on thrift store finds, and I'm going to kind of include flea markets and tag sales and stuff in this one here because oh, can you see what's there? It's Poe. Hi, Poe. I don't know where Buddy is, baby. He's looking for his buddy the cat. So, what you doing, Popo? Popo is very shy. So, he looks for Buddy because he likes to be with Buddy, but no, he made an appearance today. How nice. Living here in Japan, I don't have access to really like yard sales, tag sales, garage sales and stuff, but we do have flea markets. We actually, I think they're called shrine sales or temple sales, and it's actually the big huge common areas of the shrines and temples will have like flea markets, different people, vendors, things like that. And not right now, it's kind of cold out still, but once spring comes and summer, you'll see them. It's really kind of cool. So what I'm going to show you today is that, you know, everybody knows right now times are really tough economically. You know, people have been struggling. You know, we just came out of how long of COVID, you know, people not working, everything else. So to have alternatives and affordable alternatives at that to continue what you love doing, because let's face it, I know when you're in a position to where you're struggling and you're tired and you just feel like the world is against you at some point, you know, it's not healthy to give up the things you love doing. Because for me, my yarn art, my crochet, or my little bit of sewing or whatever I do, it's my zen, it's my release, it's my way of just kind of letting all that go. And when we stop allowing ourselves to do that, I think it does more harm than good. It definitely does more harm. And you know, and if the reason you're doing that is money, you know, I'm using this video series to show you that you don't need a lot of money to do this. You really don't. You can do this on the smallest, tiniest budget. You really can. Also, never be afraid to ask people for yarns. You know, if you know someone who crochets all the time or knits constantly, never be afraid to say, hey, listen, if you have any scrap yarns or yarns you're not using, you know, can we make some kind of a deal where, you know, I'll take them for me, offer them a little money. Or if it's a relative or somebody like a really close friend, maybe they'll just give it to you. It never hurts to ask, and the worst they can say is no. So we do have thrift stores out here in Japan. Believe it or not, we do. And the thrift stores here, I have to say, I was kind of disheartened when I first moved out here because I didn't know enough about the country to know where to find the thrift stores. But once I found them and once I learned what to look for, how to find the thrift stores, oh my goodness, I can't even tell you. It's been like a treasure trove. And a lot of the yarns you're going to find out there are vintage yarns because a lot of these things are estate sales. Just people bring in their relatives who passed, packing up the entire house, dropping them at an off house, which is our big chain thrift store. So if off house can be compared to anything, I would compare it to Goodwill's back home, but without, I don't know if it's a charity-based thing. I really don't know. I don't know enough about it. I know that they buy things from you though. And if I bring in a box of shirts or a bag of shirts and they're like, well, we really can't give you anything, you have the option to say, okay, that's fine, just go ahead and keep them, sell them. And you can do that. So people do that. I apologize, my allergies, I swear to God, it's the tatami mats here, but I vacuumed them and everything else, and and the dryness of the air has been killing me with the heat going. It's been awful. So what kind of things can I find at my local thrift store here in Japan? Well, there's a couple I go to. The off houses, which are a chain. Anywhere in Japan, you'll find an off house. Most places in Japan, I should say, not any place, but most places in Japan, you're going to find an off house. Great place to find used furniture. Most of our furniture is used that we bought from off houses or things like that. Our couch is new, but we'll keep it until it falls apart. Or until Poe just destroys it because he likes to scratch on stuff. But anyways, and The one thrift store I love is called King Family, and what's nice about that is every 7 on the months, like the 7th, 17th, 27th, they have 50% off of everything in one half of the store. This is where I get some of these yarns, 50% off. So, and a lot of the yarns you're going to find in bargain bins at these stores will have some discounts as well. So never feel bad about going into a thrift store and like digging through the bargain boxes of craft supplies, because you will find some really good stuff in there, you know? I mean, let me tell you something. What is that? I don't need that. You stay over there. If I was in the back of a store, a thrift store, a fabric store, I don't care what, and I was walking by a dumpster and I saw big bags full of yarn and stuff, guess who's gonna be dumpster diving? That was my water bottle, weird. Guess who's gonna be dumpster diving with her friend later on? Me! I would totally dumpster dive for like big, huge bags of yarn. Oh my God, and I'd share it with everybody I know. Seriously. Like at a craft store, because I'm sure there's not like food and diapers and things like that and gross stuff and craft. I wouldn't imagine they had gross stuff in their dumpsters, but you know what? I would. Can you imagine like a Michaels? Like what the Michaels dumpster must look like? What's in there? Can you imagine? Like, I've never done it, and with my bum knee and my back, I'd probably get stuck halfway, and then they'd have to call 911, and it would just be awful because I'd be probably ass end up in the air, my feet sticking up, and you know, raccoons jumping all over my face now, and God, that would be awful. But I would want that video up. That would be a funny ass video. That really would be. Anyways, so if you have a bad back, don't go dumpster diving. That might not work out. But let me show you what I get at some of the, and I didn't get any video, I apologize, I did not get any video of me shopping for yarns at the off houses, and I should have, but I did get a little video of King Family, and I'm going to put that in this video so you can see kind of what it's like. So, just some of the yarns I found at my off house, and this is how you're going to find yarn at the off house. You're going to find them in little packs like this, okay? You're going to find yarns like this. This is really super fine yarn. Super, super, super fine yarn. I would even akin this to embroidery. I mean, maybe even thread. I do have, now this is not all the yarns I've gotten there. There's a whole bunch more back there. Now I do have other balls like this with glitter strands in them. I don't use anything this thin, so these might end up in giveaway bags because I don't want them just to go to waste. But if I see something cool that I've never used before, I'm gonna grab it because somebody else might like it. You will find them, oh my hair, I'm shedding. I'm having a problem with my hair lately. It's just drying out so badly, so I've been misting a mixture of argan oil. You can probably tell in my hair it looks a little sheeny. Like the sheens, like the oily sheen in it. But I've been trying to get it to not be so dry, and I know it's because the heat running, and the winter gets dry out. Summer's like dripping wet humid, but winter's super dry, so gotta love that. But these are just some of the smaller packages, and at off houses you'll kind of see them packaged like this. There'll be 2 to a pack or 1 to a pack, and a lot of the times you're going to have to buy more than one. So with these, I think if I can find a tag on them. Now when there's no price, it's usually like in a bin that just says 50 yen for whatever's in there. So these were more than likely 50 yen, which is about 50 cents a piece for both of these. Like a 2-pack is 50 cents, right about that. So I got a whole bunch of those, and if you can look at these colors, and these are called Colorful Soda. Now, these are packaged. I don't have the exact grams on them. These are going to vary from 30 grams to 80 grams, depending. The smaller ones like this are usually around 30, 40 grams. The yardage on these, it's hard to say with grams how many yards you're going to get, because if it's a bulkier yarn, you're not going to get as many yards. Like a 30 gram skein yarn that's bulky is not going to give you as much yardage as, you know, a 30 gram skein of yarn that's DK. You're not going to get the same yardage. And a lot of this is in Japanese. I don't read Japanese, so I apologize. But a lot of these, like, I think these are cottons. And if you look, you can find multiples. So I did find multiples. Like you can see, like these grays, or this gray here. I got 2 of those. I got 2 of these here. Can you see those? I got 2 of those. And these are, I think these are cottons. Now, this little colorful soda, that pastel color, I have maybe 1, 2, 3. I got 4 or 5 skeins of this. Easy, without even thinking about it. And these were 50 cents each. So these here are, okay, so I got these. I think I actually ended up paying 25 yen for each of these. And that's why I pretty much cleared it out. I didn't grab all of them. I just grabbed a few of what I actually bought. Like I said, there was way more in those boxes behind me. And these are about maybe 25, 50 yen a piece. And these are really, really pretty. This is mohair. So these are all mohair. Lavender. And that really nice yellow. I love those yellows. And you got that soft pastel yellow. See that? Nice orange. And a baby blue. But yeah, yeah, so I think these were like, ended up being 25 yen a piece. So, you know, 1, 2, 3, 1. So for like, if you saw a box of these for like, I don't know, like $5, $10, you can make yourself a nice little throw blanket or a nice scarf and hat set or something. There's definitely things you can do. So let's see here. What else? I'm showing you guys these things because a lot of these are going to end up in goodie bags. Like the thin stuff especially because, and I will never, ever, ever jam an entire giveaway bag with just thin yarns. I would never do that to you guys. But I am going to put some in there because you may know somebody. So share along. Kind of, you know, pay it forward, I guess. These were cool. These are very, very thin, very furry yarns. These are it's called Firebird. So it's Richmore Firebird. I believe these are Japanese made. I think they're Japanese. I think that's where I read on one of the tags. These are 30 grams each, and it looks like there's 100 meters in each ball. This actually says 100 meters on it. So in Japan, here we go by meters. It's not always written in English, so I can't always tell you exactly what the yardage is. When I can read it in English or I can figure it out, I will always pass it on with you. But look at that. That is a pretty yellow. And I've got 6 of these total. I got 3 yellows and I got a red, white, and black. And you could do something really cute with these. Hi, Poe. You gonna come over and say hi again? He's right there. I don't know where Buddy is, honey. I think he's downstairs. So these are really cute. Now I got these at Off House. These are Off House tickets. So whenever you see that price tag, you know I got it at the Off House. Now more than likely that was discounted. With yarns, rarely are you ever going to pay in their bargain boxes. You're rarely ever going to pay full price on this ticket. Oh baby, he's downstairs. He's downstairs, sweetheart. He's very shy. So I think Poe was found at a train station in Kyoto as a kitten, baby kitten. And he just kind of went from the shelter to a foster to shelters, and his story just hit my heart. So we had to take him, and then we saw his buddy, realized that they were inseparable. So there's no way I'm splitting up a pair. So we took them both. But Poe likes to nose up here and see what I'm doing and just pop in and go, hey, mommy, I'm looking for Buddy, but I'll hang out here with you and make noise. But yeah, these are great. I probably paid 50% off on these. So I probably paid 300 yen for both of these. And you figure that's 600 yards, 600 meters worth of material in here. So you can make a beautiful scarf out of this or something. This fun bag, this is 7 skeins. These are, how many grams are these? It doesn't say. So these are the I may be holding it upside down, but that's the label on this one. See that? I don't know if the labels here are going to help anybody. It's 25 grams, and I can't see I can't see yardage on this or meters on this. I can't. But it is 25 grams, and there's 7 of these. I mean, honestly, with how thin that is, I don't see why there wouldn't be at least, I don't know, 100 meters in here, maybe. My guesstimates are really off, so there's a 135 here, and I'm wondering if that's what that is. I'm wondering if it's 135 meters. It very well may be. There's one opened here, so do you see how? So yeah, that's definitely a possibility that this is 135 meters of material, of yarn. So, and there's seven skeins. I know this was not 500 yen. I probably paid like 30% off of that. So you figure it's going to be about maybe 350 in USD for this whole bag. And just a whole bunch of things like that. Now the cool thing is that you do get vintage finds. So I did find, and I have multiples of this and multiples of the pink, I believe, but I found these beautiful vintage wool yarns at King Family. And you can see, and these are new. These are, I'm not new, but they're not, oh, they're unopened. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skeins of the blue, 5 skeins of that creamy white, and these are hefty. These have some hefty. And of this beautiful pink, you've got 5 skeins. And there's a good amount in here. There really is. I don't see anything on the labels and it's telling me. Okay, so it looks like it might be, this is going to be a wool blend. I can tell that much. But I'm not seeing, I don't want to open up the case. I really don't. I don't want to bust that open. I don't know, maybe. Okay, so these are 25 gram skeins. These are heavier. I'm gonna guess that these are at least 80 grams, these here. Maybe 60 grams, 80 grams, oh, 50, I'm sorry, 50 grams. I think I said that, 50 grams. Oh, they feel, notice they feel heavy because I'm holding 5 of them. Ooh, it's these little, they don't smell like basement. They don't smell like basement or that musty, moldy smell. They don't. This one's, you can tell by the packaging, it's really old. This one has a little bit of a garage smell, like that garage, like storage room smell, but it's not bad. And these were, oh God, these were half price. I'll tell you now, these were half price. 200 yen. This whole thing was 300 yen. 250 yen. So absolutely good bargains. And just, I'm gonna try to, when I edit this, I'm hoping like right about now you're seeing a video that I put in for King Family, and the video that I'm putting in is just showing you what I find there, and actually the video that I'm showing is a really bad day there, so there's usually a lot more there than there was this day, but this is just, it's just an idea of what King Family has as far as yarns and things go. It's a really cool shop. I love it. And they also have gorgeous kimono. The gorgeous kimono that on the 7th of every month are 50% off. And I've bought some beautiful kimono. And once it gets warmer, I live in kimono in this house. I do. I love it. So before I go into the sets I found, look at this other yarn. I think a couple of these are Daiso yarns. Yeah, these are acrylic Daiso, so these are pretty much all acrylic, or probably acrylic blend with wool. We got 40 grams here, and this is definitely a Daiso yarn. Daiso yarns don't always have your meters in English, so it's very hard for me to know what that is. It looks, the average weight of these, I think the average weight of these things are 40 grams. But look how pretty, and that would make a really nice autumn scarf, wouldn't that? Those are gorgeous autumn colors. Look at that. And I'm not even going to open this back because these yarns are absolutely beautiful. They're gorgeous. Look at that orange one. You can see that glory one right there. Look at that color. Can you see that color? It's like orange with red speckled inside of it. And this is a really cute autumn scarf. That's what this is. This whole bag is a cute, cute autumn scarf. This bag is 200 yen. 200 yen. So you can absolutely do this on any budget. You absolutely can. And sometimes you get lucky enough to where you can find yourself really, really cool kits. Entire kits. And you can find these back in the US and a lot of other places too. If you look hard enough, you get lucky sometimes and you find kits. Now, kits aren't necessarily cheap. If you've ever gone to the, and I don't want to name bash, but there's on Facebook and Instagram, you'll see this one particular crochet company that sells just kits, but you can't buy the kit all at once. You got to buy it in like 10 or 11 parts. And it gets costly. It gets really, really, really costly. So when you're finding a kit for, that says 1,200 yen, I did not pay that. I would not pay 1,200 for this. I paid 600 yen for this. That's about $5.50. Look at that. Isn't that better? And this actually has the fabric in this bag that you're going to use to line this purse with. So the inner liner, they give you that fabric right there. That's the fabric for it. So they tell you how to make it, how to line it. All the yarn you're going to need in this entire package is right there. Look at that, 600 yen. It's like $5.50, and you can find these back home. Gotta look, but you can find them. These rings, I pick these rings up whenever I find them out here. For some reason out here, they're everywhere. I've even taken them off like bags that are just like torn up and dirty and ripped, and I've repurposed them. And I use the bag cloth for like rags, cleaning rags. Look at these rings, aren't these great? Now, I use them for dish towels and stuff. That's what I use them for. But if you look, it shows you how to make a handkerchief purse with these rings. And also shawls. If you have like a crochet or a knit shawl, you can use these rings to kind of pull through and make it a nice, kind of hanging thing. So there's multi-use for these things. And I got them for 150 yen. So if you had to buy these new at a craft store, these are not going to be 150 yen. These are going to be, what, $10? $7? I mean, they're going to be expensive. If I see more, I'm going to start grabbing more of these. If I can get enough of them built up in my collection, I'm going to start sending these out too. This one's really cool. This was a promotional item, and I got that much off of here, and I bought this at Off House. It says 330 yen. I promise you, I didn't pay full price for this because it would have been in a bargain bin. I get my yarns in bargain bins there. So look at the color of that yarn. It has the paper back here, if you can see this. So you can see it's got the actual printed pattern there. The plastic piece for the handles, the pieces are right there. So this is an unopened kit, and this kit was probably, honestly, it was probably 275 yen, which is about $2.50. I'm really approximating these conversions. So, but you can find these. And like I said, any of these things I find here in Japan at the thrift stores, I'm going to share with you guys as well, because I am doing a February giveaway. I will be announcing that soon, so look out for that. US side, stateside. Now, I have found really cool crafting supplies at Goodwill and other thrift stores, just general privately owned thrift stores. You can absolutely find those garage sales. Out stateside, you guys have garage sales, and the Northeast, you have tag sales, yard sales, flea markets. There are so many resources for you out there. Seriously, if you just hunt around and look, you can do this. You can do this hobby. You can do this beautiful fiber art, or any fiber art, dirt cheap. Dirt cheap. Actually, I think we have stores in Mississippi called Dirt Cheap, but I don't know if they sell. Sometimes they sell yarn, like Ollie's or Dirt Cheap or Treasure Factory. Is it Treasure Factory or Treasure something? I know down in Mississippi they have those. You can get yarns pretty cheap if they ever sell yarns. Northeast, you got Odd Lot, Big Lot. So like in the first video about the dollar stores and the discount stores, I mentioned those. But thrift stores, you guys have a plethora of thrift stores stateside, and I'm sure in Canada you do too. I've never gone thrifting. I've never been thrifting in Europe, so I don't know about that. But I need to thrift. I need to just do a thrifting in Europe trip. Wouldn't it be nice just to go out there, not to sightsee, just to go thrifting? Can you imagine? I don't know. It might turn out to suck. But the thing I found when I brought back here to Japan with me was 3 yarn bags I found in America's Thrift Store. Now, if you're in the South, America's Thrift Store, yeah, I know the clothes can be grody. I know they can. So just, you know, but even in their clothing, you can still find some really vintage finds, like 60s and 70s authentic stuff. I found a beautiful Sears dress for like $5, and it was from 1972, I think it was, and it's beautiful condition, so I have that. But for some reason, America's Thrift Store has a great crafting section. They have an amazing craft section. It's hit or miss, you really gotta look, but it's decent size for a thrift store like that. When I went there, before I came home, like I said, I had COVID when I went back last time, so I didn't do as much thrifting as I wanted to. And the thrifting I did do was for my nieces, my niece and my nephew's baby. Well, it's my niece-in-law, but it doesn't matter, family's family. So the in-law part, I just leave off because she's family. Doesn't matter at all. It's family. Family's family. But anyways, my first grandnephew, Lucas, my very first grandnephew. So the thrifting I did do out there, I really did for him. And I went nuts. I went absolutely, Auntie went nuts. But I did go to, oh, hey, look, really quickly, before I get on these, I wanted to show you these two. Ah, there they are. So at my King family place, where I told you about, I also found knitting supplies. Now, I'm not a big knitter. I can do a basic knit stitch, that's it. My plan is to learn how to knit well, though, one of these days. Now, these were on sale for 10 yen. That's like 10 cents a set for a pair. 10 yen for a pair of knitting needles. So these are plastic. They're really bendy, so they're not going to break as easy, I don't think. So 1, 2, 3, 4 sets. So that is like 40 cents in USD. For 40 cents and an extra one, I think this one was a little more, but still for like 50 cents. All of this for like 50 cents USD. Now, I have seen knitting needles. I've seen these in American thrift stores. Thrift stores in the United States, I should say. I've seen them. I've seen crochet hooks there. I've seen tons of yarns out there, so you just gotta look. You really do. Yard sales as well. No, if you see somebody out in a yard sale who looks like they might be a crafter and they have some sewing supplies or whatever out there, ask them. Say, listen, do you have any crochet or knitting supplies or yarns that you maybe want to get rid of? I'm kind of in the market. And you'd be surprised. People will say, yeah, actually I do. Hang on. Always ask. You know, my whole thing is like, if you don't ask, you'll never know. So never be afraid to ask anything. And like friends, relatives, things like that, ask about their remnant yarns. Ask about their scrap yarns. Hey, if you're not going to use it, give it to me. I'll take it. So this trip for me was very short, but I found something very interesting. Now, I know what I'm guessing is these yarns I found are not for traditional crocheting. You're not going to crochet a blanket with these because you'll be having to connect the yarn every 5 minutes. What I'm thinking these for, and I asked a friend of mine and she said the same thing. She thinks they're for crewling. Now, I don't know if any of you have seen crewling. It's basically embroidery with thicker yarns, and they make flowers and things like that and different images. And she thought that that's what these were for, because these are smaller skeins or hanks. I mean small, like if you open up, they're like that long. That's all. And it's whole bags of them, and they have the tags still on them, so they were sold like that. And her thing was that the only thing she could think of was they were for crewling. Now, I have some crewling art, vintage crewling art, back in my house in Ocean Springs. And seriously, my whole thing, I've been obsessed with the 60s and 70s my entire life. If you walk into our house in Ocean Springs, it looks like the Partridge Family threw up in it. It's awesome. It's kitschy, It's vintagey. It's just, I mean, I even have a coral red carpet throughout the entire house. It's just awesome. Anyways, oh yeah, and I found cable needles for knitting. Cable needles for knitting for 50 yen. I got a whole, looks like a whole bag of this stuff. So this one is more like a dark turquoise with a navy blue and a brown. Look at this, all of the whole bag's full of it. And I opened this bag because I was curious. But these are not open, and these were $2.99 a bag. They had 3 of them. I grabbed all 3. And as you can see, they still have all the tags on there. So that's why she was thinking they're for crewling or some kind of embroidery art. But these are great, $2.99 a bag. And if you're into that, this can, if you spent 1, 2, 3, so 3 bags, $9. If you spent $9 on this yarn and you were into that kind of thing, this can take you 3 months. This can last you 3 months on a project, a big, huge crewling project, easily. So $10, I mean, it's like, that's easy. We can save that. Don't buy the Starbucks. You know, find out what you're spending and look at it. Make a little list of everything you're spending and see where you can cut those expenses to put into your yarn art. It's important. But yeah, America's Thrift Store. These were $2.99 a bag, and look at these color schemes. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that color. The orange and the blues and the yellows and things like that. I love that. This one is a mixture of greens. Sage green, moss green, dark green. A couple little blues in there. And again, these all have the labels on them. They're all labeled. So I think she's right. I think that's what these are for. If anybody out there knows any differently, please tell me in the comments. Let me know. Because I don't want to give out bad information. Or if I'm wrong, I always say I'm wrong. And I'm wrong a lot. You know, it happens. But the one thing I'm so proud of at the America's Thrift Store in Mississippi, in Ocean Springs, is I found these. Now, I had 5 of them. I gave 2 away to friends. But look at these. Now, these are vintage. This stuff, this is from Accento Craft Incorporated. These were made in the USA in Tarpon Springs, Florida. They originally sold for $125, I think, from Howard's, which is probably an old craft store out there. I got these for 99 cents a piece. Now, if you know vintage stuff like this, right now it's hot. Hot, hot, hot. So when you find something like this, you grab it and you buy it. Buy all of it. Buy all of it. Seriously, buy all of it. Look at these purse handles. Look at this. This is the stuff you can find in thrift stores if you look, if you go. Look at this. Look at this treasure. I mean, these are authentic vintage. And I'm going to make handbags with them. Isn't that great? And this is that like bamboo plastic. Oh, well, it was plastic made to look like bamboo handles or rattan handles. I mean, look at the colors in those. It's really pretty. So I got 2 of these, 99 cents each. I actually got 4 of these, and they gave 2 away. And they had 1 yellow, and I was so upset they didn't have any more because I would have bought every one of them. Look at this. Aren't these cool? Now, they're a little dirty. You gotta probably clean those. Look at this. Just look at that color there. And these are really cool. This is gonna make a really cool, maybe like a granny square bag. But look at that label. Like, seriously, vintage labeling. Oh my God, it's great. This is awesome. Yeah, thrift stores. And I'll tell you right now, I don't just buy from the thrift stores to show off and go, hey, look what you can buy at thrift stores. I use thrift store stuff. I use it all the time. I have repurposed stuff. I saw a video somewhere. I can't remember where I saw it, but it's a woman who buys thrift store sweaters for like $2 and $3. And she reclaims the yarn from them. She actually shows how to take apart the yarn and respin it and everything else, so you can actually, you know, put it on a Swift and wind that up and actually get balls of yarn, like wool and God, cashmere, everything. Can you imagine how much money that saves doing that? I mean, you have to have patience. I imagine that's immense patience. I don't know how much patience I have with that, but so yeah, I just want to share that with you and show you what you can do. And another way to cut money corners when you're looking for craft items, especially yarn and fiber and things like that. There's always affordable options out there. Never give up your passion, never give up what you love because you think you can't afford it. Because if you look hard enough, there are ways to afford it all the time. And right now, at this time in our lives, we really need to hang on to things we love. We do. Do something you love doing because it helps, it heals. And when you're giving up the thing you love to do because of money, that's just, and we've all been there. Everybody's been there. Well, most people have been there. There are some who are lucky enough to never have been there, but I mean, and good for them. Right on. They're awesome. Happy for them. I don't hate rich people. I'm not one of those. Not one of those now. Count the rich. I don't care. Listen, if you worked hard your whole life and you've got a good thing going, it's awesome. Good for you. I will always clap for you. But you can always find a way to afford things if you look. And thrift stores, dollar stores, Amazon, these things are great resources. They really are. Friends, relatives. Trust me, I've hit up friends and relatives for yarn. I've done it. If you're in a position to where you're a little better off and you know somebody who isn't, a friend of yours who isn't, or a relative who isn't, you know what? Wind up your remnant yarns, or your scrap yarns, or yarns you're just not using anymore, and donate them. Donating what you have, if you have the opportunity to, is a great thing as well. But I think, especially here in the fiber arts world, I think from what I've seen, it's just such a beautiful community and such an encouraging and uplifting and just close-knit. See what I did there? Close-knit. But it's a great community. And I think, together we can always keep each other in yarn. We can always keep each other in notions. We can always keep each other doing the thing we love to do. And that's creating. And when you create, you heal, you create something new. You're adding to the world. You're making somebody smile somewhere. So that's always a good thing. But yeah, so go check out, if you check out my playlist, I do have a playlist with these 3 videos. It's going to be called Crocheting on Any Budget. And it has all 3 of the videos in this series that I've put up, just to give you an idea of how you can cut corners and how you can actually still keep crocheting and even knitting, for that matter, on any budget. You can do it. You just have to put a little more work into it, a little more footsteps, but you can do it. It's absolutely doable. So I hope this helped. I love sharing what I have, or my finds. I love sharing with you guys. I did start filming my tutorials for how to crochet very beginning, the very basics. I did get a request for that, so I'm doing it. And I want to do like 3 or 4 of them, and I had to redo it a couple times because the angle I was filming at just didn't work. I couldn't really see anything, so I had to redo it a couple times. I've never filmed tutorials before, so I'm learning. It's definitely a learning curve. So if you have any tips or advice for me, please put it in the comments. I'd love that, because seriously, I'm really trying to get the best angle I can for those. But yeah, February I will be announcing the new giveaway, and February is tomorrow here in Japan, so maybe over the weekend you'll see another video popping up announcing the giveaway. So that'll be a lot of fun. The last one I had so much fun packing those bags. I had so much fun. So I'm as excited about it as you guys are. Anyways, until the next time, I just want to say thank you for being great. Thank you for being supportive. You guys are absolutely the friggin' best. You really are. So until next time, as always, be kind, be generous, be happy, be cool, and keep hooking. Bye, guys.